one, fire.
Good evening and welcome to the second night of the second High Dive week. This is Anime Analyst -US. I'm your host, Thomas Fry.
And I'm your co-host, Asnan Zeti.
And welcome to the show. This is our YouTube live stream. Tonight we are talking about No Game, No Life. Anyone that knows anything about anime knows how important this anime is. No Game, No Life. We are going to talk about it tonight. 12 episodes. Came out in spring of 2014. Actually, I think it's even older than that. I got to look. I tried to find the year for you, and I couldn't. I'm sorry. It was brought out by Madhouse Studios. It's from a light novel. The genre is a comedy, fantasy, eki, and it's an isekai strategy game. And we all know it is all about games. And it's a PG-13, and this thing scored a 8.05. It's ranked at 584, and considering that was, 10 years ago when it came out, that's pretty good to hold a number that high. Popularity is 17, so we're talking up in the free run quality of anime. 2.5 million members in the fan club right now, and 50,000 of them said, hey, this is my favorite. I have mad respect for this anime. You will never hear someone at Anime Analyst dog this anime. If they do, well, I'll fire them. You're not allowed to disrespect, but it's never going to happen because this sets so many tropes up. It set the bar. It set it up high. This was the first one that the isekai was straight with the god. And although we got three main characters on this one, Sora, Shiro, and Stephanie, and we all know how they dogged on Stephanie, that poor child. But it's also one of the first animes that did the kind of rated R with missing a few body parts, so it wasn't rated R because I'm trying to think of how to say it on the show without getting in trouble. On the female anatomy, as long as you don't show the areolas, you're good to go on stuff, and that started a trend that to this day, 250,000 animes later, it's still going strong. And it's a good anime. There's a story to it. And we don't even, because it's a light novel, so the book goes on and on, so we don't get to see all of it, but we do get to see basically the setup and the first four lines of, what's the word I want to look for? Races. Out of the 16 races that were on there, we saw how the first four combined. Because the whole premise of No Game, No Life is to get all 16 races on one side and then put Tet, the god, on the other side. And there's 16 pieces in chess, so you have the 16, everything was set up off of the game of chess. And tell us, we all know that I'm an anime freak, so we all know I love this thing, and I could talk about this show for hours. So what do you think? This is the first time you saw it, and to finish telling you about the conversation, go ahead and mention the thing about the part that bothered you.
Yeah, the graphic thing, that was the only thing that bothered me. Like it, but that's just for me. Like personally, it is not like. But the story I watched it like without with the issue I was having like looking at it like having some headache, but I still watched it. I watched it and I like the anime, like the games, and like the characters, like how they have built two characters and they're one unit. Like they're doing each and everything. When they show in the early episodes, like when one is down, the other one came forward and helped, and when that second one they were doing that. And the chess game they have, I think that was the favorite part of my anime, like when they're playing chess and they realize that the normal rules don't follow here, they
Yes.
have their free will. And like how, and I think they pretty much clear the thing, like in the fourth episode they let you know like what they have with the god, like why the god bring them to this world, and he lives.
Um, I want to say 5 or 6 when they actually had the conversation with them. I mean, beyond from the start. Let me jump back real quick because I thought I was sitting there trying to rack my brain about, why that may cause you. And when this anime was done, if you think about computers back in 2014, they only had 16-bit of colors in doing this. So they wanted to make this anime really bright, and I think they over brightened it. That's why I was telling you turn the contrast down because you don't see that in modern animes that were made in the past 5 years. They really toned the colors down, and now you have 256. We're just getting into 4K to where now you've got millions of colors that you can use from, so you don't have to over brighten it with the way they did this anime. So it was purely of the process of taking an old anime and showing it on a modern system. They would have to go back and recolor the entire anime to get rid of that effect. So as you're watching it, I thought about it. I was not going to say anything. And I'm like, you know what? We better make sure that for people that have not seen it yet, you need to. This is a very important anime. This will, so many tropes were started. Um, and the colors, it was wow. It is definitely a wow your eyeballs in colors. And all my screens, I have them set to where they're almost shaded, so it doesn't. I don't get affected on my eyes because I didn't think about that. I should have told you that up front, and I forgot that this thing is way colorful and it's way in your face. But with this design, if you watch this on a TV like on Netflix, you won't it won't bother you one bit because Netflix on a TV it just doesn't have the ability like on a computer where we normally watch anime. uh we have the 4K screens, and at least we have double high definition QHD. So all mine are 2519 by 1440. So I'm one step below 4K on my screens. I don't see any reason in buying 4K. I do just fine with basically 3K. So anyway, go ahead and continue. I figured it out, so I wanted to add that in there while we were talking about it.
Yeah, other than that there was no issue. I like this anime and I think we should have, you should have told me before to like give it a go, like watch it. Like I just watched it for the show today, but I
Sorry.
think but I like this like characters, the games, because I also like used to play games. I'm not playing games right now, so I think that's really easy for somebody who play games to connect to the characters, like how they play the games. And that, and I think this is the first time I'm completely agree with my anime list about the popularity and the ranking. Because sometimes I see that I like something and they have like way above the ranking and the popularity, but this one.
Honestly, when the fan clubs are smaller, the numbers get skewed easier. when you have such a large fan club like this one does, where everybody has said something about it, then you get a truer sense of what the anime really is about, because basically 2.5 million people can't be wrong when they all say something. You'll get the real picture of, but it carries, it's more than just that. I mean, this goes beyond the numbers, um, as far of its place in history and its, policies and procedures that they did in this, and including in color and in aspects of doing an anime and the production side of the anime and all that. There, there was a lot of first with this one. I tried to do some research on but the problem is I don't have anybody that I know that worked at, places like Sony and worked at some of these studios that could, jive in and say, okay, this is what was going on at that time. I just, I don't know anybody that way, and until we get connected with our show with somebody, then we won't be able to find out that information, because it's not public, and you can't just call and say, oh, hey, by the way, I'm doing a YouTube show and we need this information. Would you be willing to give it up? Yeah, that's not happening. So although we are trying to make contacts with people, but we just don't have anybody in the industry right now that can clear that up. Just remember, it's important, and at some point, go back and watch it again. Make some adjustments with the color, or just watch it. Watch it on Netflix. Do a trial run if you have to, and watch it on Netflix. That way, the colors won't be so in your face, because a TV has a lot less colors than the. And I will do a better job at warning you up front. I thought about it and I know about it, but I didn't think to say anything to you about this when you went to watch this. But still, the story is just so good. It's, even if we're not gonna review it, and we've kind of just pumped it up more than reviewed it on this show, but anybody who's ever seen anime should have already watched this show. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
this is no secret of how important this anime is. And it's good on top of it. I think that would be cool. Now, my mind, I wouldn't do it now. I'm too old. But if I was younger, when, my college days, I would have loved to have got sucked up into a world like this, because I'm a good chess player. I can play cards. I can go into a casino and play blackjack and win. It's not that complicated. And they give away so many secrets in how to, when you're gambling for money, it's more a psychological game that, or I don't know what the terminology is for it, but it's more of a, you gotta read your opponent in every fashion and catch the little things that a normal person would miss, especially like them. Blank has not lost a battle ever. Now that's, and she was showing, Shira was showing, what do you call it, genius level stuff when she was 3. Now I'm assuming that she was adopted into the family, and that's how that story came in. I have not read the folklore on it, or I haven't checked out fan wiki or nothing. We've been pushing SEO really hard, and everything that's going on here in the offices at Anime Analyst, we're trying to put on the best show we can possible. And I've had a couple technological issues this week. But yeah, it is most definitely worth watching. Please check it out. Don't forget, this is High Dive Week. all week. So tomorrow's going to be Gate, another one of those phenomenally awesome animes from that's older, but it still keeps up better with a lot of the new stuff that's coming out. And High Dive, don't forget, High Dive has new stuff coming out this year. They're 3 episodes in. I've been checking out. Well, I check out everything that comes in, but um, it's really cool. So tomorrow we got Gate, and all week this is High Dive, and you were saying that repeat repeat what you said to me about High Dive animes. I thought that was a cool comment you made after the show yesterday. You were saying we need to do more High Dive.
Yeah, I was saying like we need to have a high dive month. Yeah, because like if I have to select from Crunchyroll or high dive, I will say like high dive.
And the funny part is Crunchyroll has, 1,000% more animes on it. But High Dive is very picky, and they hold some very important classics. And they don't have the money like Sony's got an unlimited budget, so they can just basically buy everything and whatever throw paper at a wall, wet paper at a wall, and see what sticks. And then, who cares if something dives? If you're High Dive, you're a smaller company, you have to spend your money like us. We have to spend our money very wisely. We're not rich here, so we have to be picky about what we do and what equipment we use and how we do things. And that's how they operate, and that's why it's easy to like them. That was one of my first recommendations that, because with you couldn't get it without the VPN. I was like, dude, spend the money. It is so worth it. High Dive is an awesome platform to watch anime on. I really like it. So, all right, we went way over time tonight. So and don't worry, we will talk about No Game No Life again in another show at some point in time. That anime is not going away anytime soon, so we will talk more about it, but most definitely check it out. We will see you back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. tomorrow. So have a good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.